Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here to kick off Columbo Season 2, finally. I know it's been a couple months since my last video. If you guys have watched my update video, then you know that I've just had a lot going on and finding time to make and edit videos has been a bit of a challenge. But we're back and we're gonna kick off Columbo Season 2 with today's episode, Etude in Black. Before we dive into today's Columbo video, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are gonna be expanding beyond Columbo here very shortly to other TV series I enjoy, such as The $6 Million Man, Bonanza, Star Trek The Original Series, and so much more. So if you wanna keep up with those videos and know when they're uploaded, click that subscribe button before you leave today. As you can see, I am wearing my Columbo-esque trench coat, and I've got the perfect shirt for the occasion, my Etude in Black t-shirt. So I'm excited. I don't think I'm gonna wear this trench coat the entire video though, because this room is kind of hot and I run a little sweaty, so might be taking this off here in a minute. Also, before we dive into today's reaction video, I just wanted to give a shout out to you guys and say thank you so much for all of your comments and support over the last few months, especially during my absence. I'm surprised at how regularly this channel is getting comments when I haven't been as active, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support and thank you so much for all of your insights and all of your opinions on these episodes and just contributing and being a part of this community. I really appreciate it, and that's part of the goal here on this channel, is to create a fun little community where we can all jointly geek out over something that we enjoy together. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, and I really appreciate all the kind comments on my last video. Okay, so Columbo Season 2, Etude in Black. This episode aired September 17th, 1972. Its guest stars were John Cassavetes as the killer, Blythe Danner, Anjanette Comer, and Myrna Loy. So fun little facts for you guys before that we start this episode. Peter Falk was really good friends with John Cassavetes, and I believe he worked with him a number of times on his films. Blythe Danner, who plays John Cassavetes' wife in this episode, is actually the mother of actress Gwyneth Paltrow, and I believe she was 5 or 6 months pregnant with her at the time this episode was filmed, and it's kind of obvious in the episode, but that's a cool little fun fact. And this episode was also directed by Nicholas Colasanto, who played Coach on Cheers. So those are fun and interesting, right? So the episode description is: the mistress of a symphony conductor plans to go public with his extramarital activities. Let's do it! Let's watch Columbo Season 2. Same. God, these houses that they film in are absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, I just got so excited. Dude, it has been so long since I've sat down to watch Columbo with you guys, and I'm so excited to be here. I feel like all the killers have this obsession to some extent. I know he's a conductor, but they have an obsession with classical music. There's always an element of classical music in this show, and I love it so much. Also, it makes their murderous deeds just look so, like, eloquent in a way. I always forget I'm supposed to be taking notes. Pretty sure they used that house in $6 Million Man too.
Hello, Maestro.
Hello, Michael, boy. How are you?
Got problems again?
Got a little few problems. I'll see you tomorrow around noon, all right?
Do you need a ride now?
No, my wife is supposed to meet me here.
Boy, they sure did a good job at making that bathroom look disgusting. Unless that's just the real location, in which case that is very accurate.
Did you know that Brahms used to tell dirty stories? And
Hollywood Bowl.
He was,
Yes, I know. You told me he was a sex maniac.
How do people ever listen to symphonies before the age of electronics and stupid technicians?
I'd be interested to hear Alex Benedict's opinions on today's technology. God, these actors were just so much better back in the day at just being, I don't know, more relaxed. There's nothing forced about the performances here.
Here's your music, and here is a kiss.
Go on, get out of here.
God, she's adorable. Oh, there's his evil music to accompany him. He looks conspicuous. He's wearing what I would expect a killer to wear. He's got the trench coat, he's got the sunglasses, he looks like he did something wrong. I love it though, it's so on the nose. Ew, there's that disgusting bathroom again. That has got to be a set. There's no way that's actually part of the building. That has to be a built set. Anytime, I'm sorry, like anytime a guy dresses like this, it just gives me like Muppet vibes. I don't know. It's so random, but I think of Muppet Man. Or the everyone have their disguises from the Great Muppet Caper. Caption, playing intricate piano piece. Her fingers are just going.
Hello, darling.
I was feeling all the hairs on the back of my neck.
That's just sex.
Take off your sunglasses, you're in a house, dude. Thank you.
It's a marvelous choice you've given me, to divorce my wife or you'll make a scandal out of our love affair.
I'm right, and you know it.
And you're about to die.
You're just reluctant to lose her mother's backing.
She could do ASMR.
And I need you.
It's so obvious she's not playing it. It's so endearing when they're like, somebody who's not a piano player, they're like, pretend like you're playing the piano, and it so obviously looks like they're not. I love the juxtaposition of the classical music with the murderous act that is about to take place. The bird is a witness. Bird squeaking is unsettling. Oh wait, does he kill the bird? Wait, I don't think he does. That bird is a nice touch. I mean, that's making me a little stressed out. Those notes too are effective. Yep, that. No, you forgot your flower, dude.
There are going to be more of these along, Carla, so I'll pick them up later, okay?
Every time she talks, I can only think of her in Meet the Fockers.
Well, speaking of nerves, you know that Tchaikovsky got so nervous before a concert he had hallucinations.
Alex, Jennifer Wells hasn't shown yet.
What?
Jennifer Wells hasn't shown yet.
I mean, this woman is late. She's late for everything. She doesn't think there's anyone else in the world alive.
Darling.
Hello,
God,
operator.
they're all really good actors.
All right, well,
People in their houses all over America waiting for a concert, and she left the phone off.
why don't you call the police?
Dang.
Why are you getting...
You call the police. You want to call the police? You call them. I want to cancel that.
Alex, you can't come.
Cancel her out. I don't care if she arrives right now.
Wow, that was a great scene from all of them. That was fantastic. I'm so used to acting nowadays that feels like people are acting or reading lines off of a script.
All right, attention,
And just
everybody. I
the
want you all to
difference
be
in
real
the
sharp.
quality of
We're gonna have a real
actors
good
back
performance.
then is just like none of it feels
All right, ready?
scripted. It all feels so natural. That argument was so good in The Office. I have to make a note of that. I think there was a meme on Twitter going around about John Cassavetes in this episode, about his BSing conducting. Oh, what did somebody say? I'm gonna have to find that tweet. It was so funny. Now I can't stop laughing. Oh, here we go. More juxtaposition of classical music with the plot unfolding. I wonder if they played anything when they were recording this. I have to imagine that they did. Otherwise, it would just be awkward because he would just be, you know. So I have to imagine they did put on like a famous piece of music. I don't know why it's making me laugh so much. It's giving that one episode of Looney Tunes where Bugs Bunny conducts. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm flittering his hands about. I don't know why that's so funny. Hello.
For you, Lieutenant.
I can't wait for the day where somebody gets a phone call and it's not for him.
Yeah, Columbo. Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the doctor. No, it's not serious. Yes. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Dog!
He'll need a booster shot in about.
One of the best story arcs / love stories
But he will
ever.
need the booster. You see, I just picked him up at the pound. His time was up, if you know what I mean. I haven't named this guy yet. You don't have any ideas?
Fido.
Fido.
It means I am faithful.
Yeah.
Well, roughly.
Columbo's like, thanks, I hate it.
Want to get this gloomy done?
Oh.
The way he's manhandling the dog. This is one of the best love stories ever. Columbo and dog is like, it's peak love story. He just manhandled that dog out. Ah, brilliant. We are getting like 20 minutes of this, and it's so unnecessary. I want a compilation of John Cassavetes just waving his hands around from this episode, just to see how long it goes on for.
Jennifer Wells is dead.
The police say she committed suicide.
God, he is a good actor. He's really good.
I can't stand suicide. Murder is bad, but suicide is sadder. Look at those eyes. Bedroom eyes. Woman like that's got to have somebody. But that's me. I'm paranoid. Every time I see a dead body, I think it's been murdered.
Oh, this was such a good storyline they introduced. Oh, the bird is dead.
Sorry, sir, you can't come in.
I'm Alex Benedict. We're all deeply concerned about what has happened here.
Can you tell us anything about Miss Wells?
No, not really. Not about this. I only knew her as a great artist.
What time was she
Ooh,
do at the bowl?
the flower in his camera frame. Oh,
Around 7:30.
sorry, not the camera frame. His
phone when she didn't
his
come.
camera. Sorry, not the camera. God, his
When we
glass
finally reached
lens.
the operator, there was no one on the line.
That I've never
That's when my assistant,
seen that
Johnson,
before.
called.
I have never noticed that before. I don't know why I said camera lens. My brain just doesn't work sometimes, you know? No, you don't do it in front of him.
Find something?
I dropped my flower.
Look at that cheeky little grin.
In his bin. I'm a fan of yours.
He's
fact,
moved
I
in.
just got your latest album.
He's moved in. He's like, ooh, a suspect. Zoop.
Isn't that all?
Dang, I'm sad the bird died.
By the way, you mentioned that Miss Wells was due at the bowl at 7:30. What time were you going to arrive, sir?
Around 5:30. My wife dropped me.
You don't drive?
I left my car overnight at my mechanic's. Why do you ask? I know.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would she kill herself?
That haircut is a
Why?
statement.
You know it very well. You
She could not have.
Why'd she do it, Mr. Benedict?
We're classic music reporters.
Jennifer Wells was an incredibly talented artist. I'm sorry, that's all, folks.
I love it when they shoot footage during the day and then they try to edit it to make it look like it's at night.
Yeah, I guess it is. I suppose you heard about Miss Wells.
She was my friend. I always took care of Chopin when she had to go away.
Yeah, who's Chopin?
The cockatoo.
Oh, yeah, now I remember.
It's the dead bird.
Chopin was a composer. What's his name?
What do you think about Fido?
Oh, wow. How'd you ever think of that one?
I love his responses to her.
Do you like to be called Beethoven?
No, it's like the Beethoven dog movies. Beethoven's first, Beethoven's second. What were those movies? Were they Disney Channel movies? I'm not making this up. There is a movie series called Beethoven about a dog. That is incredible. That room is incredible.
You're always imagining that I'm leaping into beds all over town. You think I made love to Jennifer and then she killed herself for me?
I don't know what I'm thinking sometimes. I'm sorry. Why did you marry me?
Wow, she is
Sometimes I
really
wonder why you
beautiful.
married me. I mean, I'm not talented. I'm nothing. Why me?
Just one reason. I love you.
That would be so sweet if he didn't have an affair and then kill the lady.
Columbo.
Look at that young picture of him on the ID.
Come in, please. You musician.
I wonder how many of those things he smoked a day.
Anyway, I happen to be in the neighborhood today. That's not. I don't want to appear presumptuous.
All right, let's go inside. We'll be more comfortable. No.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not messing up the room.
He looked like he forgot his line for a second.
I never got to ask you last night what I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead.
Terrific place. Terrific.
Thank you. We like it.
Could I take a look in here? Just a quick look.
Go ahead.
An ADHD king.
Gotta be a 40-foot living room.
He is so great.
Windows. Ideal. This is a dream house. You like it? You're from New York.
Columbo, the real estate agent.
Better out here, right?
Oh, it's more comfortable.
What are you paying taxes on this place?
$18,000.
The pause was so good.
Place cost you $720,000.
$750,000.
That is nothing compared to today, what that house is probably worth.
How did you arrive at that figure, $750,000?
It's real estate rule of thumb. It's a trick, no magic. I'm not an appraiser or anything like that.
Get into appraising.
I'm fascinated by money, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by money, for what it can do, that's all.
Anyway, what I was going to ask you is this. How much do you make? Tours?
I don't know.
Concerts?
I don't know.
Publishing?
I don't know.
Oh, et cetera. I make $11,000 a year.
Good Lord.
How much help do you have?
I have 5, including.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
So what's the point?
They have great chemistry together.
Well, I guess the point got delayed because I got so wrapped up in the house. I told you that my wife and I are big fans of yours, didn't I? Well, there's a lot of snobbery among the wives. It was in my line of business. We meet a lot of people.
This conversation is going in so many different directions. It's so entertaining.
I thought it would be nice if my wife had a conductor's autograph. Just put your name. That'd be good enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to be very honest with you, sir. I came here because I wanted to talk with you.
All right. I'm here.
There's such a funny dynamic between them. It's probably Columbo's eccentricness versus Alex's dryness.
Why would a girl like this young...
He put his hand on his arm and he wiped it off.
Why did she take a life?
You see, artists are very, very delicate. They're strange. They go up and they come down. And when they come down, they go down, 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 and they get distraught.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
What if she didn't commit suicide?
I was awake almost all night thinking about the same thing.
No kidding.
Yes, only I rejected the idea.
Why is that?
Because people kill themselves all of the time.
I was speaking to that little girl next door, and this thing will hang me up if I live to be. Aren't they beautiful?
There he goes again.
Will you look at the lines on that car?
I relate.
Spoked wheels, isn't this a honey?
The ADHD.
Huh? Beautiful.
Oh, if they would make them like that today.
Beautiful. I mean, what about the suicide note?
You know, most of those notes are written by hand.
And all of the rehearsal notes to me, they were always typed, you see.
Oh.
They play off each other very, very well.
I feel so sorry for you, really. Good luck to you. Careful.
Columbo's like, I'm gonna get you. I don't know how yet, but I'm gonna get you. That is such a sick car. Ugh. Take us back to the days of cool-looking cars. Can't we design cars to be cool and sexy and fun and also safe?
I guess you don't have these kind of problems with a car like Mr. Benedict's. What was wrong with his car? Nothing serious, I suppose.
He just felt it was idling a little too fast for him.
I love how he gets people to talk to him.
Do you leave all these valuable cars out at night?
Not the customers' cars, no. They get locked up every night.
Oh, he's a sneaky little man. The way he gets his information. He is a sneaky little man, that one. That darn Columbo. I used to take piano lessons when I was younger. And this was a notable piece that was repeated in the household by all of my siblings and myself. And we quickly came to resent each other for it. Don't just throw your cigarette on the ground, dude.
This is the typewriter. This is Jennifer Wells's.
Take a look. The second S doesn't match with the first S. Suppose somebody else typed it. Whoever murdered her.
Cards are on the table.
Suppose the murderer in this case was a friend of hers. Suppose it was you. See, I have a theory, and I would like to use you as an example, if you don't mind.
Oh, please, use me as your example.
Suppose...
Oh my god, there's such a nice contrast between them.
You know when you bring a car into a garage, they note down the mileage? And I looked at your car the morning after the crime.
Oh my gosh.
And the speedometer showed 9 miles more than when
It's like the tiniest, most
you drove that route
specific
from,
details.
Mike's garage. I think you might have something there.
He's basically like, here's all the evidence. Now just admit it. He is so good.
You see, I didn't kill Jennifer Wells.
I know you don't agree, but at least I've convinced my superiors that Jennifer Wells was murdered. That's my specialty, you know. Homicide.
It's a very polite, I'm gonna get you. What a great scene that was. That was such a great scene.
You're not for real, Lieutenant. The only thing next door is a lawn.
The piano was playing and that guy was on the drums.
You're not a jazz freak. You made a special trip over here to see me. You're the cops. You guys just figure it out.
That's what I'm trying to do, and I came here for help. Listen to me. I was there the other night. I heard what you said.
Lieutenant, I'm not ready for
Yeah,
any
but
of this.
you do think that if the
I don't
man
think
was involved...
anything. I was in shock, all right?
Thank you for the time.
A little more direct here.
Listen, Paul, do you happen to know the name of the other guy?
I never asked.
Oh, sure. I mean, why would a guy ask this girl the name of the other man?
Oh, it's interesting. His different approaches with people. Yeah, she definitely looks pregnant there.
You do your own gardening?
Well, we have a gardener, but I like to do the flowers whenever I can. They grow smaller and a little bit.
Wow, Gwyneth looks just like her. It's crazy.
Terrific for a lapel flower.
Well, I grow them especially for Alex. You know, he likes to wear a boutonniere when he conducts. Mr. Columbo, what you wanted to talk to Alex about?
Mr. Columbo.
Exactly? Rope. We'll have a little of that tea. No, I was,
I have to wonder if, like, stuff like that was improvised. Because he's such a natural actor.
We think Miss Wells was murdered.
Uh-oh.
Murdered? Is there anything that you should tell me?
Janice, stop it. Getting tired of your insecurities.
Whoa.
Stop pounding me. Hi, Audrey.
Hi.
You remember me?
Of course.
I like the framing of this.
I'm very impressed with you.
Oh, really? Is it my body or my mind?
Well, it's both, really. No, give me a break.
Don't bother with any male chauvinistic compliments.
Is that what that was? Well, I'm sorry.
If you're trying to butter me up, that's not the way.
Oh, she's just full of spitball answers.
Did you spend a lot of time in Jennifer's apartment?
Sure. She used to tell me how to handle men.
That's obvious.
You meet many of her men friends?
Every time he'd come around, I'd have to leave.
Who's he?
The one in the tuxedo.
Oh, just one second. If you saw him again, would you recognize him?
Of course.
The staging of that scene was really good. Here he goes again. Flinging his arms about. I'm sorry. The conducting is ridiculous. The conducting.
Audrey here, and she's a friend of Miss Wells and a neighbor. And she saw a man in a tuxedo leaving her apartment. Now, Audrey, you see that man here now?
Sure.
You want to point him out?
That's him.
Uh-oh.
I met Paul at the Juilliard School of Music. I was lecturing there at the time. He bumped into some people and got himself into a scrape and ended up in jail. Might have
Alex,
happened to
you sneaky little son of a
You have a
gun.
powerful friend and supporter, Mr. Rivkin. Alex Benedict tried his best to defend you.
Well, some of them
I can't get over his hairdo. It's so horrendous.
You have a jail record for assault on a woman.
Well, Mr. Benedict really gave me
Yep.
quite a defense.
Alex is a sneaky son of a
Yeah.
gun.
I punched a lady.
Oof.
I didn't kill Jennifer. I couldn't, never.
Why not?
I loved her.
The lieutenant believes me.
Well, that's right, ma'am. I don't believe he did it.
Aside from my daughter, this is my baby. And if anybody tries to hurt either one of them, he's out. Anybody.
Ooh.
But under the circumstances, fine.
Something just computed for Columbo.
However, until his case is...
His realizations are always so drawn out. I love it. He needs the money.
Columbo,
The money is the motive to kill her.
are you there?
Oh.
Would you like a drink?
You mean that anybody could get access?
Without exception. Would you like a drink?
Even the maestro?
You mean Alex?
Yes.
Especially Alex.
You mind if I have a drink?
He's fantastic. Hi, dog.
Okay, Lieutenant.
All right, come on, dog.
Hey, you got a name for him yet?
Now, how about the jet? Munch.
This poor doctor.
Say, isn't that...
He's just giving the worst, most generic names of all time for a dog.
Educational channel reruns the tapes of the concerts on Saturday mornings.
So it's on tape. They got it on tape. I never thought of that.
I might need to make a compilation of all of the moments. I'm gonna make a note of that, of all of the moments where he's fake conducting, because it's so hilarious to me. Sorry, it's so frenetic and like random and over the top. I love it.
Excuse me, I hate to keep bothering you people, but I have something which I think will interest you.
Well, let's get this thing cleared up once and for all right?
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
You can sit right here,
That's so much green.
make yourself comfortable. Like something to drink? Coffee? Something cold?
I bet it's completely different now. Unless that's a set, I don't know.
Now, you always wear a flower in your lapel when you conduct a concert. One of your wife's garden flowers, is that right?
Yes, I do.
That's the opening night concert, am I right?
Sorry.
Stop! Tell me, if you always wear a flower, where is it?
I don't always wear a flower.
But I remember you picked up a flower at Mr. Wells' apartment. Under the piano?
I don't recall doing anything like that.
Oh.
Frank, better turn on the lights. How do you work this thing?
The knob on the right.
Do you operate it for me?
Sure.
Frank, want to turn off the lights? Thanks.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Why'd she do it, Mr. Benedict?
Jennifer Wells was an incredibly talented
Yikes.
artist. I'm sorry, that's all.
Frank! Now that's plain as day. Where did it come from?
I don't know.
Well, on the tape at the concert, you weren't wearing a flower. Now on this film coming out of Mrs. Wells' apartment, you have a flower.
Are you actually trying to pin this murder on me with that?
Yes,
Oh.
because the only place you could have gotten it was at Miss Wells' apartment when you picked it up at the piano. Why would you put it on after the concert? Why would you put it on after the concert?
I was in shock.
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
Confused.
Because his wife was a witness. Oh, man.
Mrs. Benedict, did he put on a flower after the concert?
It's all right, love. Go ahead.
No. No, he didn't put on a flower afterwards.
I'm guilty, you know that. Just for the record, I love you.
Oof.
I've always loved you. I hope you don't have to go through your life.
Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
You knew from the very beginning, didn't you? I mean, right from the start. I'd like to go.
Wow. Excellent.
Is there anyone I could...
Officer.
I feel awful for the wife. I feel awful for Janice.
Goodbye, genius.
Such a somber ending. Oof. It's a very somber ending.
I'm sorry, man.
Aww.
Officer. Frank, you want to play that again? The concert?
Aww. Nicholas Colasanto. Wow. Wow, I forgot how sad that episode's ending is. It's very somber and kind of heavy. But I'm going to share some quick thoughts on this first season 2 episode, and then I will share a little bit of trivia on this episode as well. So let's go ahead and talk about that. The juxtaposition of the music with the planning or the execution of a murder on Columbo is something that's been done repeatedly, but it works so well, and it strangely adds this element of eloquence to the killer's actions. Something else I really liked about this episode is the fact that Columbo's ADHD was on full display. Just like in the middle of his sentence, just completely switching to something else is so perfect. I particularly liked how John Cassavetes was very dry in comparison to Columbo's eccentricness and his quirkiness. So while Columbo goes off the rails, he's talking to him, he's like, well, I came over here to question you. And then in the middle of that sentence, he's like, gee, this is a nice room. I love this room. How much do you pay for this house? Goes off into the other corners.
I never got to ask you last night what I wanted to ask you. Terrific place. Terrific. Could I take a look in here?
Some could take it as it's just Columbo's way of getting to the killer and getting his questions answered, but I really love how he derails. An ADHD king.
Aren't they beautiful?
We love him. John Cassavetes is just a great actor. He's very natural. He's very believable. The scene where he's having a total meltdown in his private office is really realistic and really well done and really well acted by all three of them. I thought he was great in this one, and he really played a believable character. And I think as far as Columbo killers go, I sympathized with him a lot, and I really attribute that to the show's ability to put you in the killer's routine, like their normal everyday routine, like what they do as people. Like you see him with his wife in the beginning, and then you see his relationship with his mother-in-law, his relationship with like the orchestra and his passion for music, and you really get to hang out with him before you get to hang out with Columbo. And in that way, the show does a really good job of attaching you to the killer and really helping you come to know them. So by the time you get to the end of the episode, you really feel something. So I would have to say that I kind of felt a little bit more connected to Cassavetes' character, Alex, than maybe some past Columbo killers. I sympathized with him, and I think that's just really good writing. Like I said, I think Columbo and Alex had a great rapport and a great dynamic. Alex's character is very dry, and Columbo is very eccentric and quirky, and I do attribute that to John Cassavetes and Peter Falk's probably standing relationship, but I think that they played off of each other really well, and I thought that their scenes were very entertaining, and I really enjoyed their dynamic, but I thought that they worked really well together, and I thought it was very entertaining to watch. Again, with the side characters are all really strong. Audrey was a nice little addition. She's so sassy towards Columbo, and he's just kind of earnest back to her in his responses, so I enjoyed that too. I like the scene where he goes to talk to her at her ballet lesson.
I'm very impressed with you.
Oh, really? Is it my body or my mind?
No, seriously, Audrey. Give me a break.
This episode also introduced Dog for the first time, who is a reoccurring companion of Columbo's. I think it is one of the best additions to the show. As I like to call it, it is my favorite love story because it's so sweet, and I love how it comes up over and over and over again in later episodes. It's like his little buddy. His Watson, if you will, which is very sweet. So I love the addition of Dog, and I actually have a fun fact to read when we get to the trivia part of our video. I wrote down, Dog times Columbo is the best ship. It's true, it is the best ship, other than Columbo and his wife, but Columbo and Dog is like close second, if not tied. John Cassavetes was conducting in the episode was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Dun, 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 dun. It's just, it has Bugs Bunny vibes. I don't know why it was so Looney Tunes of him. It was so over the top. I love you, John Cassavetes. That was great. There's also a great meme. I want to see if I can find it and put it in this video. But it was going around on Twitter recently where it was about some movie that came out recently where the main actor had to learn how to conduct, and then somebody was like, I prefer the crappy John Cassavetes version or something like that. And then the ending of the episode, it was very somber. And something that I like about Columbo's character is, you know, when you get to the end and you see that Columbo gets the killer, it's not like this joyous moment most of the time. It's kind of somber, and you see that in a couple other episodes, especially like in the one with like Dick Van Dyke as well. He doesn't enjoy that part of it. He doesn't enjoy like taking people away or putting them in jail. It's his job and he has to do it, but there is like a very human side to him where it does wear him down. Like it's not something that he gets pleasure out of. And you can see it at the end of this episode when he kind of sits back and he's like, Frank, roll the concert again. And then they play the concert and he enjoys it. Like, he doesn't take pleasure in doing his job. Like, he's good at it, but it's not like this joyous thing. And I really like that. There is an element of like sadness to it. Like, oh, like I'm sad this happened. I'm sad the wife had to go through this. I'm sad that like they have to be separated and then this thing even happened. It's just a nice little human touch, and I think it really plays into Columbo's empathy and his kindness to people, and I think that's such an attractive quality about the characters. And I think that Blythe Danner's character, Janice, is very sympathetic. Like, she's ultimately the one that incriminates him, and that's really, really hard. And then there's that nice moment at the end where Columbo just looks into her eyes and he takes her hands and he just looks at her and he doesn't say anything, but it is such a kind, empathetic look, and it just really makes you feel, you know, there's such a human element to the show, and it's just really nice to see. But he has a lot of compassion for people, and I think that's a really beautiful quality. And then last note, the use of the piano keys in this episode is really effective. So it's like the but it's very effective. Okay, so here are two little fun trivia things for you today. The first trivia fact about Etude in Black is that Peter Falk, in order to get John Cassavetes to appear in this episode, he promised him he would co-star in his next movie, A Woman Under the Influence, with Cassavetes' wife, Gina Rowlands, and pay half of the cost to produce the film. So he bribed him a little. He's like, okay, come be in my show and I'll help you pay for your movie and I'll be in it. The second bit of trivia is that for season 2, NBC was insistent on one change. The show needed a second continuing character, ideally a younger cop or a family member Columbo could confide in. Levinson and Link relented. Sort of. For Etude in Black, they instructed Stephen Bochco, to give Columbo a dog, which is really funny to hear about this, because if you guys have watched the later seasons of Columbo, you know that there's a younger cop named Sergeant Wilson who appears now and then, whom I love very much. I love Sergeant Wilson.
Detective Sergeant Frederick Wilson, sir.
I don't really know. I mean, Columbo's a really strong leading man by himself, but I do kind of understand wanting a rapport with somebody else. But I love how they were like, it wasn't Sergeant Wilson first, it was dog. Initially, the idea was for Columbo to have a puppy. Director Nicholas Colasanto disagreed. No, he should have a dog that looks like him. So they found an oversized, aging, lethargic basset hound. Though he was a dog lover, Falk did not want a sidekick. Columbo had enough quirks, he certainly didn't need a pet. But Colasanto asked him to give the pooch a look. Falk walked into the director's room set for his first day of shooting, took one look at the inert blob of wrinkles, and melted. The mutt was perfect.
What is it, Lieutenant?
Just checking on my dog. He's out in the car.
In the original ending for Etude in Black, Columbo was to decide on a name for dog. You know, I think I've got a name, Columbo says after the murderer is led away. What name? Asks his colleague. For my dog, I think I'll call him Maestro. It has real style. In the end, it was eventually decided to give the dog no name. Eventually, Columbo just started calling him Dog. Which honestly feels way more in line with Columbo's character than actually giving him a name. Like, that just seems so reflective of Columbo's like disheveled mannerisms and how he seems to be like very like messy, like in his mind, not just in his appearance, but in his mind. So he'd just be like, dog. So that actually worked out really, really perfectly. And then eventually, as we know, we did get Sergeant Wilson, so he did have a younger character to kind of mentor, I guess. That's your trivia for today. So I think that basically sums up today's episode. We finished the first episode of Columbo Season 2, you guys. Yay! I know it's been a minute, but thank you for your patience with me, and I'm excited to keep this going. Please drop a comment and let me know what you thought of today's episode. I like it. I think it's a great start. Drop a comment with your favorite moment. And I will see you guys next time when we watch Columbo Season 2 episode, I think it's The Greenhouse Jungle. That better be correct. Have a great day, you guys, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.